In 2006, I crashed at very high speed while filming. I was in a coma for 2 weeks and suffered head injuries that affected my awareness and perception. It took months of rehabilitation for me to recover, which is why I want to tell you about the important work of QEF, the Queen Elizabeth's Foundation for Disabled People, a charity working with adults and children across the country with physical or learning disabilities or an acquired brain injury, helping each person to develop key skills so they can achieve their potential and live as independently as possible. In September 2021, Edwina suddenly lost the movement in her legs. After weeks of testing, she was diagnosed with transverse myelitis, a rare condition caused by inflammation of the spinal cord, which left her paralysed from the waist down.
My legs were not going in the direction that I was putting them, and all of a sudden they completely collapsed. And that was the start of my 3 months in hospital. I think the hardest part was that nobody could promise me that I would ever walk again. I wasn't making any progress in hospital, none that I could see or feel. So to me it was very, very important to get to QEF as soon as I possibly could.
Edwina went to QEF's Care and Rehabilitation Centre for 7 months of neuro-rehabilitation sessions to try and regain the use of her legs.
I was taken to the gym, and for the first time in 3 months I stood up, and the progress continues.
Edwina was determined to work hard in every therapy session so she would have the best chance of walking again.
A year since the transverse myelitis, I'm managing to use a walking frame in my own home. I could never have hoped to have made this much progress, and I am grateful to QEF for that.
Queen Elizabeth's Foundation for Disabled People has decades of experience of providing neuro-rehabilitation, development of life skills and mobility services for almost 10,000 disabled children and adults a year from all over the UK, which is why they're asking for your support so they can help more disabled people to achieve their potential and live life with increased confidence and independence.
Here at the Queen Elizabeth Foundation for Disabled People, what we try to do is help recarve out a new life, new independence. We do that through many services, therapists, specialists, play therapists, throughout the range of age groups, enabling potential for those who have a disability from birth or through to an acquired injury or illness later in life.
Mum of triplets Kumba contracted polio when she was just 4 years old, resulting in her losing some of the movement in her limbs and making it difficult and painful for her to walk.
As a disabled person, it's challenging to look after 3 kids. I used to walk a lot on my crutches, but when I carry the 3 of them, my right knee get really worse because the weight of them. So now I solely depend on my wheelchair.
Everyday trips on public transport that many of us take for granted, like shopping and the school run, were incredibly stressful for Kumba in her wheelchair with her 3 young children by her side.
My son, Zach, will normally run for the bus and go and stand there and say, "Can you wait? My mom needs to get on the bus." It breaks my heart that I can't run, but my son knows what I need and he understands that.
For many disabled people, having a car and driving is not a luxury, it's a vital tool that improves their quality of life, helping them to be self-sufficient and to get back some independence. The charity's mobility services team provide around 1,400 assessments annually that help disabled people just like Kumba to start driving.
They invite me over for assessment. The assessor noticed that it would be better if I have the brake and gas on my right-hand side because that's the dominant hand, and another adaptation on my left-hand side, that's just to control the steering wheel. The first day I took my children to school in my car, I felt like I was driving on an open road and I was the only one there. If the Queen Elizabeth Foundation was not there, I don't think I would have got my independence. Knowing that they did it for me to be able to move on and have that joy of going places, that it's something nobody will ever understand how I feel.
The charity also works closely with families who have disabled children with varied and often complex conditions. The free Bugsy loan service is designed to help youngsters at the early stages of their development to have independent mobility, often for the first time. Melissa's 4-year-old twins, Carter Ray and Deacon James, have a form of centronuclear myopathy, a muscular genetic condition that means they rely on ventilators to keep them breathing.
When they was about 2 weeks old, I started having fear because we didn't know what the condition was. We didn't know how invasive the treatment would need to be. Basically, we didn't even know if they was going to make it. Between them both have had 28 respiratory arrests. We've had to perform CPR 5 times. To watch your older 2 children break down because they don't understand what's going on, emotionally and physically it's draining.
Due to their condition, Carter Ray and Deacon James can't walk or crawl, and because of their age and size, they weren't heavy enough for powered wheelchairs. Their ventilation systems meant the twins relied on the support of their parents to move around.
It was very frustrating watching the twins not being able to do what ordinary kids would do. We need to be careful about infections, so we kind of limit what we do on a day-to-day life. But every day they get up, every day they smile, and that's what keeps us going as a family.
The charity provided each of the boys with a specially adapted small indoor powered wheelchair, the Bugsy, designed to enable young children to better explore and discover their surroundings. This free loan scheme enables disabled children to play and join in with siblings and friends.
It melts my heart to know that my child has been given something that can change their life. We are able to get out as a family. They're able to go where they want to go and show us what they want to do rather than being pushed and being told that that's where they're going. They've got that independence to guide themselves to where they want to be.
Queen Elizabeth's Foundation for Disabled People provide vital services for disabled people of all ages. By donating, you'll be supporting people with acquired brain injuries to regain key life skills and disabled people to increase their independent mobility so they achieve their potential and greatly improve their quality of life. So please, give what you can. To find out more, visit the charity's website, www.qef.org.uk. Thank you.